Man, I missed that whole drama, bro.
Yeah. But Stephen A. Smith, man, you don't supposed to do that though. Cause what if the role was reversed and Skip Bayless said, "Yeah, have you heard of Stephen A. Smith before Cold Pizza or before I put him on First Take?"
Ooh, he did it like that. Ooh,
yeah.
See, I missed all that. Man, he did the ultimate little brother, huh?
Ooh. Yeah. To the ladies, you know, for all of the reasons that he's crazy about it, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Freestyle. You got Freestyle Monday, but it's Freestyle Tuesday, man.
I ain't changed the title, bro.
Yeah, you changed the title. That's all good. I can change it on my end.
Yeah, man. Let me change this title, man. Golly. See, I got 2 minutes to do it, though.
The final word.
Let's get it.
There we go. Final word. They know what it is.
Man.
The final word. They're going to come here regardless to hear about this great Cowboys content, man. Come on with it.
Listen, y'all. I know we get some people that share early. Don't share yet. Let me update it. All right, Lau, if you give me 2 seconds, it's going to be updated. It is all the way updated. We are now the final word, minicamp. And we got the title appropriate. Minicamp minus CeeDee plus Micah equals drama.
I love drama, though. I love it. Yeah, drama, all right. Yeah, it's okay. It just, I ain't gonna lie though, I'm annoyed. It's annoying me this time. It's just too much. Too much of it? Yeah. And the way that it kicked off, it really, really annoyed me. I ain't gonna even lie to you, Lau. I feel you, fam. I feel you. Yeah. But that's how the Cowboys are, man, you know. Drama for your mama. Cause it was, I'm gonna tell you what annoyed me, but I'm gonna be okay. It was the very first words that came out from Ian. The final word. It was the first words he said. I'ma show it. But his very first words, it's like, ugh, you know? So we gonna kick it off in just a second, bro. But it's typical, man. We in mini camps and we still got our main guys squabbling. Squabbling, man. So when do leadership starts? Do you give it back to Parsons now since he's here? Or do you still take it away? Because he missed voluntary stuff, you know? Yeah, that's a good question. When does leadership start? Ooh, that could be a thesis statement. A thesis on somebody's paper. Come on, y'all write that down. When do leadership start? The final word. And now they saying, well, but it's okay for CeeDee Lamb because he just fighting for his money. It's okay. But Michael Parsons, now you said on the podcast that you was gonna be. I just, it just, we can't win, Law. Dang. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I just wanna run it up. Can we check or something? I've been really in the field, let up, I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike picky with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately I just wanna run it up.
Let's run it up, Law. Let's run it up.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
So yeah, man, we said we was gonna kick it out with my boy Ian Rappaport. Got it right here. Just his first words, just
10 teams have their mandatory mini camp starting today, and we have our first official holdout. Sources say CeeDee Lamb.
Just one more time. It just hurt to hear it like that. You know what I mean?
10 teams have their mandatory mini camp starting today, and we have our first official holdout. Sources say CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys star receiver, has not been spotted in Dallas for mandatory minicamp. It is not expected to attend. That means, as for all players who are not present during mandatory work, he is subject to some hefty fines. And obviously for CeeDee Lamb, he is seeking a contract extension. The fact that Justin Jefferson got a 4-year, $140 million extension to make him the highest paid receiver in the NFL yesterday obviously plays into it. CeeDee Lamb has been very clear. Wants an extension, has not been present for voluntary OTAs, no fines there. Now not present for minicamp. Dallas has been, let's just say, taking its time and trying to get a deal done. Perhaps CeeDee Lamb's absence this week will ramp things up a little bit, but time will tell.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I want you to go first on this one so I can dive into my thoughts afterwards.
It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating, and it feel wrong because what did he do to have to get fined?
Now, due to the mandatory information from CBA, right, the collective bargain agreement that they did this so they can keep from players from holding out, right, and that was presented to the last CBA, and these fines that's accumulated should be paid for by said player. They can't be paid for, waived from the league or from the front office there. So by him getting those fines, it should, make his mind up and say, hey, man, there's $100,000 that I got to pay. But here's the crazy part about it. They just gave him $17 million, right? That's more money than he's seen in his first 3 years here in Cowboys land, or first 4 years. This is his 4th year or 5th year. Which year this is for CeeDee? This is 20. This is 4th year, right?
Yeah, this is 4th year.
Plan wise.
Yeah.
So his first 4 years, he only made. I'm only using only shortly because only is not really only, but he only made $12 million, right? The 5th year option is $17 million. He signed that, so he made more money this year than what he made his previous 4 years, going into his 5th year. Find me, man. Find me.
It just feels so disgusting. That's the only way I can explain it. It's because everybody else is paid. Literally everybody else is paid. Like everybody. It's no more receivers waiting. They are all in camp getting ready for the season.
Chase showed up. Jamar Chase showed up.
Oh, Chase. Yeah, Chase.
Chase need to get paid.
Yeah, Chase need to get paid too. My bad.
Tyreek Hill want to go back into the line and get paid.
Yeah, you're right. So it's not all of them. But it's still frustrating. It's still frustrating. When you look at the amount of receivers, right, that's paid. And when they keep saying the Dallas Cowboys not in a hurry. Yeah, it's it just, man, it just don't feel right to me when somebody performs up to his level and they still dragging their feet. It just, how does it not even affect morale? I'm just,
it's going to affect it. It's going to affect it a lot, boss, man. But I do look at it like this. People say follow the leader. So last year around this time, Zach Martin, he wasn't there. And I don't think Ian Rappaport talked about those type of things. So what's good for the goose, I'm from Mississippi, y'all, is what's good for the gander. And you can't have it one way without the other. I think that you did an episode the other day. It's cool when, they do it, but it's a problem when he do it, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be fair and balanced across the board. And when you talking about setting a tone for a team, hey, nobody's more accomplished on this particular team than Zach Martin as of present day. And if he had to sit out and wait for his coins and his bag and his remunerations, these other guys are looking at the same thing. So in other words, Texas is also like this. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, So at the end of the day, who's going to fold first? Now, CeeDee, he's going to be looking at them doggone fines every other day, and he going to be like, hey, the Jones probably got me by the short hairs. And for people who don't know, just look up short hairs, So that's just what that is, Boss Cowboy Sports. So I look at it like this, that I want ultimately CeeDee to win. I want him to win this negotiation point. I guarantee you that the Jones family, if he continue to be steadfast, they will fold. He just can't cave in. I think that the pressure from the outside made Micah Parsons cave just a little bit, and that's why he showed up today. But I'm just thinking that that's just the process and the procedure that the Jones family like this because they love the drama for your mama. They love this.
Yeah. And then I have a good question about Rich. He said, how do you know it's not CeeDee's side dragging it out? Maybe he wants to know who his QB1 is past 20. No, first of all, you're not going to take fines to figure out who your QB1 is going to be.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, Jerry himself said he the reason why it's held up.
Right.
He said, if anybody want to know why, it's me. He literally said that.
Mm-hmm.
So when the man himself say, I'm the one holding it up, yeah, it's him holding it up. And then all the top sources are saying that they are holding it up, that they ain't no rush with anybody. Mm-hmm.
And the tree is known by the fruit it bears. This is not the first time we are tasting this fruit. If you look back at it, we've seen this same storyline before, ladies and gentlemen. This is not new, right? We've seen Desmond Bryant in 2014 have by far one of the best seasons any Cowboy player ever had, and they still gave him a difficult time. And by the way, we've seen this happen all the way back in 92-93 season or 93-94 season when my guy had to say, hey, I technically wasn't under contract. That's why I stood out those two first games, and that was Emmitt Smith. And that was coming off of a Super Bowl winning championship game, leading the league in rushing, had 18 touchdowns that season. So I don't think that any of those boys had that kind of caliber of season, and they still put Emmitt feet to the fire. So I look at it that the Cowboys, the Jones family, they got a philosophy and a principle. They got a way to handle things, and there's nobody that's going to say, hey, we're going to fire you for the way you move.
Right.
Other people got this one little thing that get you change your mind, boss. And you've been in sales before, and it's called sense of urgency.
Yeah.
When you got that sense of urgency, you got to sit down, you got to study, and then on top of that, you got to forecast for your future. Look, infrastructures around the city that we live in now is already mapped out and planned out 5, 10 to 15 to maybe 20 to 30 years in advance. The Cowboys build everything as they fly, talking about as the leaves fall down. We can look at Justin Jefferson's contract at 140, but the tangible dollars are 110, right? $110 million guaranteed. So where do you put Lamb? If you could pull up that list again for me, Boss Cowboy, if you don't mind.
The receiver list
of all of the players that they got paid.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna be objective with this one. I'm gonna be very objective with this one. Before the season last year, a lot of people had CeeDee Lamb just below AJ, probably hip to hip between Ross St. Brown and right just a smidget above Smitty. But what happened after week 6, this dude done shot all the way up to the top. Right. Surpassing AJ, surpassing Brown, surpassing Devontae Smith. And now he was in there toe-to-toe, neck-to-neck, if pause is necessary, with Tyreek Hill, as well as my guy, Jay Jetta. In my opinion, I always said that sometimes you can be a late bloomer, right? I just looked at it from this perspective, that his numbers would have always been up there with Justin Jefferson if Dak Prescott finished the 2020 season out.
Yeah, facts. And speaking of this list, I want to play this clip.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm loving every bit of this.
AJ, they ain't gonna be able to pay you.
He does not. He needs some tissue. He needs some tissue. He really. The show is over. He's ready to go home.
For the money you need, they're not gonna be able to afford you.
Yo, see, he's trying to take shots at your pocket right now.
Yeah. It's cool, AJ. You know what?
He's paid. He's paid.
He got 2 years left.
Hey, you know what, bro? 2 years to win the Super Bowl.
Listen, this is not about me. This is not about me. Listen.
And he got paid again.
That boy, that's the most embarrassing clip here.
That's what's embarrassing, bro.
That's embarrassing. Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing.
He got paid again.
Actually, he got paid 3 times before Lamb got paid once. Or technically, if you look at A.J. Brown's contract, he got paid his rookie's money, and then he was traded to the Eagles. They immediately didn't play around with just keeping him on that contract. They said, let's save some money and prorate it and spread it out, and they gave him another deal, which eclipsed $100 million, right? Because we were talking about, and that's what Micah Parsons was speaking of. Like, there's no way possible they're going to find another $100 million in the couch. And lo and behold, just a couple of weeks ago, the Eagles figured out a way to give A.J. Brown $32 million APY. And I don't know his guarantees. Y'all can put that in the chat. But that's where the floor is going to start with negotiation. Because like I said, in the last half of the season, you got to put CeeDee Lamb above AJ. There's no way that you can make an argument.
You have to.
Yeah, that he got to get less than that. There's no way. And the craziest thing about it, we can't use the argument that AJ is this veteran guy because they only a 1 year apart from age. AJ came in the league real young. You know, he's one of my Mississippi boys. But right. He came in the league real young. So they only a year apart. It's crazy.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy that he got paid again after they had this war, bro. That's embarrassing.
AJ.
And then they paid the quarterback.
I'm loving every bit of this.
AJ, they ain't gonna be able to pay you.
He does not.
And they paid him again.
He needs some tissue.
I need for the Eagles people, man. I can't stand Philadelphia Eagles. I can't stand them to my core. But I need for them to do my taxes. I need to find out a way. Do they do tax services, man? Do they do any type of financial advice and literacy over there? Because them boys cooking the books, man. You know. They paid their quarterback. They paid their wide receiver 1. They paid their wide receiver 2. They paid Dallas Goedert. They figure out ways to find money out of the couch to pay Saquon Barkley, you know, and they pay other guys that's on the defensive side. So I'm trying to figure out, man, how do they do this? And guess what, boss? If you go to overthecap.com, them rascals got $27 million available in cap space right now to spend. And we fiddling around with $12 million. And we talking about, do we go find another defensive tackle? Do we bring Stephon Gilmore back? What do we do, man? Tupac Biggie climbing out of the grave. What do we bring back over here? Man, it's crazy, bro.
Man.
It's crazy.
And now we got to get into my boy Micah Parsons. Because it got real interested on Micah Parsons, man. See, this is the deal. So, I'm going to read it. He said, on this relationship with Mike Zimmer, this is courtesy of Jay Slater. Sound like it's very new, but this would be interesting to see how this unfolds. His tone was respectful, but very confident. And I'm glad she said that. She said, honestly, this is coming from Micah. Honestly, me and Zim have probably said a total of 20 words together. He's a very quiet person. All I keep hearing from the coaches, Zim likes it this. Well, I like it this way. So I can't wait to sit down with him because that be pretty cool. Obviously, old school mindset, old school mentality. You know, I think he's had a lot of great players, but he ain't ever had Micah. Obviously, some things I've got to get used to. You know, it's going to be a compromising relationship. There's going to be one thing I don't give on or I don't give off. That's a part of the whole regime, you know. Ooh. See, man. I'm gonna be fair though. This is the deal about this. Whenever you read text, it's sometimes not how it sounds.
Yeah.
Because if you just read the words, it can sound like he already setting up to be rebellious. But you gotta hear the tone. The tone of this is very important. What's your thoughts on it just on surface?
Surface level is that, you know, the silent one is the smart one. They are observing. They looking at everything, and you know, like they say, an empty wagon make a lot of noise, right? Squeaky wheel gets stole and all of that. Well, Mike Zim, from what I've heard, is that he reminds me of my grandfather, man. My granddaddy was a guy that was a man of few words, but when he said them, he meant every word.
Yeah.
And when he say you to do something, and you don't do it, it pisses him off, and he'll let you know about it. And that's when he get the yapping. He was born in 1923, bro. And God don't make man like that anymore, right? With a first and second grade education, but he was strong as an ox. I'm talking about with strong hands. They can move round bales of hay, man, square bales of hay, throw them like this, bro. But if you didn't do a certain thing a way that he wanted you to do, he would cuss you out and he would lash out at you. And you would think that he's the evilest person on this planet. But he loved you. But he only did it to those that he knew for sure was capable of doing something. So Parsons, he's giving Parsons that probation period. That okay, I'm teaching you this. You're going to get this installment here. But if you don't do this right, and Parsons key and laughing about it, saying that, hey, we only had a few words, but it could easily be translated into this right here. Let me find this little clip right quick. Bear with me, y'all. I normally have it right here.
Get your up there, contain the damn ball.
Because I know Darren Woodson. I know for sure we had him on the show, bro. And Woody is one of the most intellectual, smartest people that you will ever be around. And he said he couldn't stand the ground that Zim walked on when he was coaching him. But after the career was over with, he praised and loved him because he understood that he's ultimately a very person that holds people accountable. And as well as the same thing that Darren Woody said that, or Woodson said that, Eric Kendrick said that. Parsons is about to get a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Wake up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say the whole thing, but y'all in the comment know what I'm talking about. That wake up call. You know what I mean?
Let me listen to Jane because she was on the fan.
Yeah.
And she heard the tone. Because tone is important. The tone is probably the most important part.
Micah Parsons on missed practices.
Hold on.
Get your up there, contain the damn ball.
Man, God, dog.
Jane wearing a little something short right there, boy. Put some clothes on, girl. Slater.
I'm pretty much caught up.
There we go.
Paul Gunther was meeting with me, the run game coordinator. I feel like I was just getting better and getting stronger and getting faster about his offseason so far. He joked that he and DC Mike Zimmer haven't talked much, says he's a...
See, that's the key. He joked. You see what I'm saying? See, when you read the words, it can sound one way, but you got to keep in mind he was joking.
My person All I keep hearing from the coaches is that Zim likes it this way, but I like it this way. I can't wait to have a true sit-down with him. I think it'll be pretty cool because obviously old school mindset, old school mentality. He's had a lot of great players, but he's never had a Micah before. It'll be fun, and I think it'll be unique. It's going to be a compromising relationship. He said CeeDee Lamb deserves $36 million a year and talked about there was a time Aaron Donald didn't even go to training camp and won Defensive Player of the Year. Says, I'm an undersized rusher who gets banged up every year, so I'm just letting my body heal. As Jane Slater, NFL Network, joins you now here on 105.3 The Fan. And a good evening, Jane. How the heck are you? We got you, Jane?
I'm here. Guys, it's been a minute. How are you?
It has been a minute. It's great to hear you. What was your reaction to Micah Parsons saying what he said today about his offseason so far?
That he's got sumo-sized, you know what? Let's be honest. I think a lot of these guys probably feel that way. It's rare that you see a player say these things with his chest. And to be clear, I think tone is important in a lot of these things. And that's why even when I tweeted this stuff out, I wanted to make sure it wasn't just 140 characters, right? I think it's easy for things to get out of context. You know, Micah will spend 30 minutes in his locker talking to us, and there isn't a filter, and I think a lot of us appreciate that. You know, we were covering these teams, you know, back in, you know, the 2000s, some people in the 90s. People weren't worried about being politically correct or saying, you know, what people wanted them to say, but it sure puts a target on his back sometimes. But, yeah, I mean, he was lighthearted about it. He was matter of fact, and there was a confidence about it. And so I think, again, that's the important aspect of this. I think the one thing that I did push back on is I said, you know, what if other guys start feeling this way? You know, Micah, when he was talking about the chemistry thing, and Calvin and I were kind of digging in here, but I said, you know, you talk about this chemistry thing, you could tell at the end of the year, and even talking to some of the players in the offseason, there was a bit of a disconnect. And while I agree with them that they are going to be in Oxnard for a long time and you're staying on property, and that's the spirit of training camp and why Jerry does it out in Oxnard, you know, I was listening to Bryan earlier. You do have a new defensive coordinator coming in here, and you do have a new scheme. And, you know, you've talked to Eric Kendricks. I've talked to Eric Kendricks. Here's a person who's familiar with it. Even when I was talking to Brock Hoffman, the center today, he talked about how many different looks they were showing, how they were hiding and disguising. And so I think that's why it's important for him to be there. And, you know, his pushback when I brought it up about other players was he said, you know, some people get paid a whole lot of money to be here, and I'm not one of them.
Message.
Yep. So that's the thing. It's obviously about the money, right?
Yeah.
That also confirms what I heard from a source who wanted to be off the record, right? About Micah Parsons that has relationships with the family, right? Yeah, that this is a warning shot. But this is the problem that I have with the warning shot. Now the media get to frame you versus you telling them exactly what this is about.
Right.
See, now they trying to frame you as a bad leader. But see, last year, everybody was praising you for reaching out to Wadsworth. What was his name? The tackle? Andrew. He reached out to everybody praising you. But this year, your leadership, right? They now get to frame it because you didn't frame it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now the sad part, Law, it's almost seeming like it's cement. It's hard cement now. Now it's almost like our fan base has locked in that Micah is a selfish, bad leader that doesn't care.
Right.
So now he got to make the case like Aaron Donald had to hold out for his bag.
Yeah.
And people not going to put that together. They not going to even care about that.
Right. Because it's all about how you can find the negative points and drive home with it, right? And all of this arguments as far as Micah Parsons, is he a leader, is he not? And if CeeDee Lamb is going to be here, or is he not? this is ultimately doing a good job for Dak Prescott because this takes away from him.
Yeah.
Because normally, the classic line would be, hey, quarterback suck, he's trash, he can't lead the team, he can't lead a pack of ants or what have you to a picnic. I get all of that. And what this is doing now is this is absolutely looking at other guys and shining the light away from Dak Prescott. Last year, the talking points was INTs. The craziest thing I heard, through this process?
What's that?
Boss, is that people fail to realize a couple of days ago, Trey Lance threw an interception in OTAs, right? Yeah. Eric Scott picked the ball off.
Yeah.
But what we're hearing is counter inverse stuff. Oh, Trey Lance, he's having the greatest OTAs that we ever see.
That is exactly what they doing.
That's exactly what we're doing. So we got good memory over here. We got memories like the elephant over here. And we saying like, wait a minute, hold on. They start counting the INTs last season. You remember?
Yes.
Hey, we on pick 15 now, pick 16, right? And then all this quarterback does is go into a season and have one of the best performance ever in Cowboys history, right? And it's crazy. And nobody talked about INTs anymore. So they moved the goalpost. Everybody should have big shoulders around here because they know how to pick up that goalpost and move it.
Man.
It's crazy.
Boy, you hit that on the. They say we got 196 people in here and only 72 likes.
Come on, what y'all doing, man? Shame. Where that shame at?
Golly.
Shame.
And so I'm gonna since you brought up Trey Lance, I'm gonna go ahead and move the Trey. Hold on, let me make sure I got it set up right. I'm gonna move the Trey because that Trey had me tripping. Hold on real quick. I want to make sure I got it. Yeah, I got everything set up. All right, here we go. Let me move the Trey real quick and let's talk about this.
All right. Interesting today at practice, though, by the way.
What'd you see?
Well, I'm into this mode now where I want to see Trey Lance get every rep.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. I'm worried about Trey Lance's arm strength a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Really? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. I didn't hear this one.
I got you, Law. I got you.
Get me, man. Get me. Go ahead.
And first of all, shout out to Bryan Broaddus. Because he waited. He did not rush. But I'm going to break this down. Let's go.
No wee-woo. I love it.
Hey, no wee-woo at all.
Was that a concern coming out of college?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Throw some long ones.
Yeah. And if you watch, I'll tell you what happened today, too. And the Cowboys, by the way that Jerry has built the practice field there, practicing outside, he does his players no favor, especially his quarterbacks.
We ain't trying to hear that, Bryan Broaddus.
Ah, wait a minute.
Dak been in that same thing. He ain't heard nothing about no win.
Punters or kickers.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Because he's got a huge building to the left of the field and a huge building to the right. So it's a big wind tunnel in that. And the wind was going pretty good today.
I'm sure they accounted for all that on the front end.
Yeah. Well, Trey Lance didn't throw the ball particularly well today.
Yeah, I saw Bobby tweeting about that as well. Just something about being a little bit behind receivers.
Well, there's times where he.
Hold on. I went to Bobby Bell. I got you, bro. I got you. I went to Bobby. I went to Bobby Twitter, bro.
Uh-huh.
And I look at Bobby's Twitter. Bobby's Twitter is a little bit interesting because he tweeted based on a response. Because, see, he gave his notes, right? His notes was about Dak not looking good. Okay?
Okay.
But then somebody named Bobby Buckets, right?
Yeah.
Asked him, I'm in for Lance update. That's when he said something about it.
Okay.
Inconsistent. He's been late on some throws the last 2 practices, right?
Okay.
So if I go to Bobby Belt and you look at it, he did a whole breakdown of today's practice, right? But Trey Lance wasn't on there until he was asked. You know what I'm saying? So, it's one of them things like we needed to know about Trey Lance and the bad 2 days. See, here go his notes right here.
Okay.
Some mini camp notes. Micah Parsons was in attendance and spent a lot of one-on-one time with assistant DL coach Greg Ellis.
Okay.
Dak Prescott was a little sloppy doing 7-on-7. So, and he said a little, not a lot, just a little.
And that's a lot. That's a lot when you're talking about Cowboys Twitter. We keep going.
Right. And then this is the thing. That's only one period, right? 7-on-7 is just one period. How did he look in team? How did he look in one-on-ones? Like, you know what I mean? We want to know more than that. He's also bigging up big time Jalen Brooks. So I want to show the tweet that Bryan Broaddus was referring to. All right. So I just want to be real thorough. All right. Back to the fan. Here we go.
We'll hold the ball. And I wonder, when you hold the ball, is it you're trying to read? Are you trying to see? Are you trying to wait and kind of wait for the guy to get open? And I'm wondering about that, but he had some throws where he really, really wasn't as accurate as he needed to be. Crossing routes underneath and stuff like that where guys are on the move. And this offense requires you to be able to make that pass. It's one thing that Dak Prescott does really well is be able to hit these guys on the move and give them a chance to get up the field.
How often can you have an off day like that as a good quarterback, as an accurate quarterback?
You know what? I don't need Trey Lance not to have good days. I'm trying to figure out, but I just didn't feel, I'm not feeling the last couple of practices that I've watched. I'm not.
And that's what Bobby said, the last couple of practices. Hold on real quick.
Not feeling really comfortable right now.
Oh, so we're looking at multiples now.
Yeah, I was, the sample size of quarterbacks you have to be careful on.
Yeah.
There were some things in the indoor practice I saw the other day. I'm like, listen, I ain't bringing these things up right now.
Why not?
Come on. Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man. Damn.
Come on, man.
I mean, hold on. Is that OC in the building? No, I thought I heard OC. No,
yeah.
I'm tripping.
That teacher right there.
Oh man, but hey, wouldn't we want to know? But didn't he say, I don't want to bring it up right now? Huh? All right, so I got the interview he did with Voch last Thursday, which is what he's referring to. Let's listen to it.
But Trey Lance, and this was, I think, my wish. I don't know about you, Voch. I don't want to see Cooper. I know what Cooper Rush is.
Sure.
Every time that we can get a competitive situation with Trey Lance at quarterback, sign me up.
Sure.
And he got the opportunity, tried to kind of at the end, try to fit a pass over the top. Eric Scott made a nice play as the left corner that ended up as an interception. So, unfortunate for Trey Lance, but he was moving the team until that turnover. But that was one of those I was expecting to see. Okay, here come the twos. You hear Coach twos up, and now it's Trey Lance out there. And I thought I'm like, hallelujah. They're kind of they're trying to do this thing the right way.
And so he did bring it up. He said, I didn't want to bring it up, but you can see on Voch show, he did bring it
up. Yeah.
Yeah, he brought up, he threw an interception, running with the twos, right? So he kept it real, right? But he was saying, I want to. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, here we go though. Let's keep it going.
It was the sample size of quarterbacks you have to be careful on.
Yeah.
There were some things in the indoor practice I saw the other day. I'm like, listen, I ain't bringing these things up right now.
Fair.
You've
only seen it once.
I'd only seen it once. So we're out there watching practice today, and some of the throws were not where they needed to be. And I'm thinking, okay, is it something that he's going to deal with all summer? I hope not. Yeah. But I've got to figure this thing out with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And I was expecting him to, when given opportunities, to be sharp at this.
maybe we're seeing why San Francisco was so willing to let him go. For what
well, holding the ball was an issue there with San Francisco. Yeah. And to me, I think the guy needs to play.
I do too.
And that's going to help with that. But certainly, you'd like to hear a better practice report.
I just felt like, though, there were some throws that he needs to make.
Yeah, hold up.
You know, and it's not like guys are in his face.
Sure.
You know, it's like he's got a clean pocket to make a throw. Nobody's going to hit him. Just be accurate with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sail it. Don't throw it wide. Don't throw it in the ground. You know, so, hey, it's a couple of practices now. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully he has a little bit better practice than.
Yeah, let's be devil's advocate because I want to be devil's advocate too.
Yeah. When I looked at Trey's tape, you know, when he's a one read guy, and that's truth, you know, and when that read is taken away, he would try to progress and go to his other, but then he trusts himself to run it with his legs, and that's what you're going to see in the preseason game. He's going to carve him up that way because it's preseason, right?
Yeah.
But to be fair to Trey, just to be fair to him, in 2016, there was another quarterback that wore 4 that was terrible in practice.
Yep.
I mean, they was talking about Jamil Showers was better than that dude, you know. And I ain't going to say his name, but, you know, they was talking about Kellen Moore's better. This 4th-round draft pick probably was a waste because he's terrible in practice, man. Let's go bring forth, what's that dude named Sanchez or someone, you know. Let's bring Matt Castle back, you know. But he was a gamer. When he turned on the tape far as, you know, when he was out there in preseason,
that's
he just
so
turned
true.
it up. So I'm not going to throw the
fair.
baby out with the bath
That's
water.
so fair. I'm glad you being fair. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, objectively speaking.
That's fair, bro. Cause see, this is another thing to add to your fairness. It's been a whole year. More than a year since it's been less than a year, but it's been close to a year since he been in a real competitive situation.
Yeah, true.
So I already said I would expect rust. I already said that. Like, if anybody thought, let's just use our common sense. That's the problem. It wasn't enough common sense in the first place. Too many people thought that Trey Lance was going to go from getting traded, no reps in the games all last year, to just showing up the MVP.
Right.
That's your fault. That ain't that's your fault for having that
right.
So now of course early it's gonna likely be some rust. You know, this is a new offense to them as well. It's also the install. But see, the problem is this though, Law. Most of the reports have been he's a master of the offense.
Yeah. Damn. Well, you got a lot of Luke Cage, man. You try to keep your trade value all the way up, you know. It could be worse because in Eagles land they saying Kenny Pickett is carving those boys up, and Jalen Hurts looking like Trey Lance, you know. But that's a whole nother conversation. So
shout out to Bryan Broaddus, man. He threw cold water.
Bryan Broaddus, he gonna get in trouble. I guarantee you, he gonna get in trouble.
I said the same thing. I say Bryan Broaddus gonna get in trouble. He not playing with the game. See, this will let you know you can trust Bryan, because Bryan gonna call. He gonna call it like he see it. He ain't gonna go get the water. Hey boss, can you explain the water carrier? You know the history of water carrier. I heard your show. You killed it.
Yeah, that's what Jerry gonna tell him, man. Get your damn act together. But the water carrier are those who, back in the days, they didn't have necessarily water coming out of the faucet. They had to carry water that they trust with them. So they had a guy that carried the water, and they would carry the water so much they be hunched over, leaning forward and everything, and they do all of the dirty work for the king or for the master or what have you. And the water carrier was a position just above the other people that had to do other stuff like plow or do other things as relates to getting your stuff in order and things like that to get these type of things. Boy, get over there. Get on over there. Get over there, goddamn! Get over there, pick that goddamn cotton. Man, he carried the water, Yeah. So when you got the other people, some beat writers who will fabricate some storylines for you, Jerry, get over there. Jerry will let the boys go carry their water for him, and without hitting him. So at least we know Bryan Broaddus to a degree. You can talk to him enough, and then he will reveal what's going on. He probably ain't gonna say 2 or 3 tries.
He do it early.
Reveal,
See, he do it early. Oh, see, hold on, man. See, I'm noticing a pattern with some of y'all.
Yeah.
Hold on real quick. Wait. This can't be. So my boy Short Dog say, it looks like y'all like the Trey Lance bashing. I gotta ask.
We haven't said
no. Watch this long. I gotta see something real quick. Is this you? Cause that's the same profile pic. Is that you?
Yeah. Cowboys Mac.
Cowboy Mac. Is that you?
Damn.
Yeah. Cause somebody asked Bobby Bell about Trey Lance, and he said inconsistent. And this guy named Cowboy Mac said, of course Bobby would say that upon his eyes. Dak is perfect. So this same guy with the same profile, is that you? That's what I need to know. Is that you, bruh?
Damn. Shout out to you though, man. We love the Cowboys, man. Cause what's the odds of him taking that same photo?
What is the odds, bro? Cause is it really? Are we Trey Lance bashing? Because it looked like to me, Law and I was being fair to him and saying he was rusty as expected. Like only y'all thought he was gonna come in and just be on Dak level. It took Dak 5 games to get in rhythm in his offense.
Right. It took him a minute, man. And this hybrid, I don't know whether or not how much percentage of it is still going to be West Coast or the Kellen Moore thing, because it was 70-30 last year. But if you're talking about crosser routes, if you're talking about primarily the West Coast offense, timing is going to have to be. I remember you was talking about these things that a lot of people, and I promise you, if you do a recall on this, boss, it'll be great.
Okay.
Because you said it before even the season kicked off. You said, hey, I have a feeling that Dak Prescott going to either throw more interceptions or he's going to be slower in his offense, because in this system it's more about your feet and mechanics. You remember that?
Yeah.
In the West Coast, because it's all about the 3 steps,
like
the 5 drops and what have you.
Yeah.
And it's not more of the other thing that Kellen Moore tried to exhibit. Now, when you start talking about Trey Lance, the dude I know for sure have a cannon of an arm. I know he have a strong arm.
Yeah, he got an arm.
He got an arm.
Yeah.
But for them to say that his arm looked like it's weak, and then he tried to throw in the fact with his wind, that damn wind been there for almost 10 years, right?
Man,
this is our first time ever hearing that as an excuse. That's the first time, dog. We had plethora of quarterbacks to throw the ball around, and nobody ever used, hey, man, it's the building.
We will blow it today.
And Moses had the staff, and he parted the Red Sea. Come on, man. We ain't never heard that wee woo before. So
come on now, dog.
Moses had the staff.
Hit the staff. Let my receivers go. Come on, man.
Hey, bro, come on now.
Oh, man.
Hey, come on.
Swallow that.
Come on, man. We don't fall for the wee woo here. And on top of that, us being objective, we said that, hey, if anything, we protecting Trey Lance, didn't we? We said, hey, two Trey Lance defense.
Yeah, we did. Both of us. You did and I did. I'm still trying to figure out, is that you, Short Dog? I need a yes or no. I just really need to know, is that you? Because I need to know. I just want to know. Because if I run across you on Twitter, I want to know. That's all.
That's all we want to know. We ain't going to beat you up, man.
Because what's the chances? The same profile, the exact one.
This is doppelganger, man. Shoot.
Okay.
Somebody, short dog, my dude though.
Yeah.
Somebody's stealing his profile, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but let me make sure that I got all of that. I think I did. But yeah, listen, I'm not gonna do what y'all do to that. I'm not over here excited that Trey Lance is not having a good 2 days. The whole point is we are very observant of the hype.
Yeah.
Because it's been some hype. And it's obvious been some silence going on. But Bobby kept it real once he was asked. Okay? Bryan Broaddus kept it real, just keeping it real. Just on, this is my notes. I just got to say it. I gave him 2 practices. The first one, I ain't going to say it. I'm going to just throw out a little bit to Voch. He threw an interception to Eric. I'm not going to really tell you the whole practice was bad. I'm going to just, I'm not going to panic yet. I ain't going to panic. But then after 2, Brown was like, I got to start talking. I'm finna start talking now. Now I'm finna start giving them that real, you know what I mean? That this look like some wee woo. This look like some hype.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number 1 bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
But I was glad you was fair though, because Dak was known for bad practices. So now we might need to see, is Trey Lance a bad practice guy in the game? Right? Yeah. Because that could be the case. Because if Dak did that, we got to be fair to Trey Lance and give him a chance to be that same type of guy. For real.
Yeah, because it would have been the inverse. Ooh, you see Dak, he overthrown, he underthrown. Hey, man, it's Trey Lance, man. He can circumcise a gnat out there with his throwing. But, that's what it was. You know who was a good practice? You know who was a good practicer?
Who?
Tony Romo. True story.
Yeah.
True story. Bill Parcells approached Tony Romo and he said, hey, I want you to rip it. I want you to throw at least 2 interceptions. Because Romo, when you given an opportunity coming from an undrafted situation, you want to be perfect because you know that any mistake that you make, you would no longer have that spot of duty anymore. So I always look at it like this. I think that the Cowboys, the way we monitor and we got 50,000 beat writers, and there's no offense to the beat writers, I think we sometimes overanalyze practice. Practice is supposed to be where you miss your shots, where you're supposed to make your mistakes.
Said.
Where you try to fit a ball that you know you're not supposed to be there. And where Trey Lance probably be trying to work on his progressions and his read. He may be slow to it, right? When it's time for him to rip and release that ball. And that's why it's behind, because he's trying to go through his progressions better. And that's what people don't quantify as relates to seeing it as a beat writer. No offense to Bobby Belt or Bryan Broaddus or anybody out there that's reporting. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Man, that's so fair, bro. 3, 2, y'all gotta clap it up for Law, man. Law, you been super objective today, man.
Nothing but
y'all clap it up for the OG.
Let's go.
That's just some good work right there, bro. I really appreciate measured Kool-Aid, and that's exactly what that is. That's measured. That's all the way measured. Now, it was some other good news, man, that I want to move to. That I also, but before I do, I did want to say one thing and get your thoughts, just real quick. I do have a slight problem. Maybe you can objectively talk me out of this, but I have a problem with them throwing Trey Lance out there with the second teams and skipping the veteran Cooper Rush. But Tyler Guyton is under Chuma. Can you make that jive?
I think they don't want to give Tyler too much to chew on, and this is where this could be an OC question, right? And when he comes back around, we would ask the OC like the difficulties switching from right tackle to left tackle, and how much information that you got to obtain. And I guess if Tyler Guyton is on he on third team, right? Or second team?
I've been hearing that
there's no way he's better than
third team. When I listened to Bryan Broaddus on Voch show, They were saying they give him a lot of third team reps because he get more reps that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't like that, boss? You don't like that? You want to throw him in the deep end?
Tyler Guyton, yes. BB, no.
Okay. I'm gonna give you my
because we know what Chuma is, man. We know what Chuma is at left tackle. See, Hoffman and TJ Bass, that's some real competition for BB. You feel me? But we know what Chuma is at left tackle. This is the only reason I will agree for the short term, though. Only one. Maybe it's making you the rookie hungry. You know what I mean? Maybe it's making the rookie study a little bit harder. Y'all ain't putting no pads on anyway. That's where the real stuff happen. So if it's gonna make you hungry, if it's gonna make you go into the off season in the last 2 months, killing the gym and hungry to take that job, okay. Yeah. But once training camp start, bruh.
Do you remember? Did Chubby Tyler Smith, did he get first team reps, second team, or third?
Oh,
when he was Chubby.
Chubby, I would bet $1 million he didn't get first team at all, because Connor McGovern,
he was killing it. Yeah. I remember.
He was starter quality. He was starter quality. So, and it was rumored that Philbin didn't even like Tyler. So
facts. So he had to fight himself out.
He had to really take the job. You know what I'm saying?
So he had to take it, and that's where we want ultimately where Tyler Guyton at. So Chubby Cheeks Smith, pause if necessary.
Chubby Cheeks, yeah.
Chubby Cheeks.
That's literal though. That's
literally, man. I wish you had the film. You've had. The
I can pull it. Give me a second.
Yeah. Chubby Cheeks had to slim down, man, and fight for that spot. It was.
Explain that real quick, Law, because I don't think people know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So Boss been doing his observation analysis, man, and when Tyler Smith first got into the league here, he had the round
OTAs. Yep.
OTAs. He had the round face his rookie year, and he was still holding. He was still slow with his feet, and people were talking about his hand placement. Duke was still working with him, and he had these chubby cheeks. And
chubby cheeks.
By the time after
3 months, once he went into training.
Yeah, his face was sharper than Jay Leno's chin. Yep. So it took a while for him to get there. And what we got to do is and that's why I can't wait till the OC to talk about this, is that maybe instead of putting advanced algebra or college algebra on these guys, they want to make sure that these guys got the rudiments first.
Right.
Math is one of the things, whereas if you miss a day or miss a week or miss a couple of times and you don't get the rudiments down and you try to get thrown into the deep end, you would never get to where you want to get at, right? So I'm looking at it. Look at his cheeks before. Look at the
OTAs.
neck.
That's OTAs.
Yeah.
This is training camp.
Yeah.
So he was hungry. He was obviously hungry.
Yeah. So
which to your point,
look at the arms, man.
Yeah. To your point, that's what they could be doing with Tyler Guyton. If keeping Tyler Guyton second team make him go into training camp like this, keep him at second team.
Yeah, keep him there. Oh no, he's on third team though.
Keep him.
And here's my thing too though. Just because he was drafted in the first round, and I get it, we all want to see that brother out there. But don't play the political warfare. If Awesome is better than him, let Awesome get those times out there.
That's true.
Now, what people don't quantify is that also Chuma is relatively new at left tackle himself. He started off at right tackle, got kicked inside when he went to Atlanta at left guard. Last year was his first year ever playing left tackle. I'm not giving him longitude and latitude to be for that spot because I don't want him there. I don't want him. I don't. I would rather see the new guy there, the old new guy, which is awesome, right? But push come to shove, I think that the Cowboys is still too soon.
Agree. Now, I do want to remind you, Lau, we got that interview with BB's dad Sunday.
Okay, great.
So just so y'all make sure y'all come on back for that. Obviously he's a coach. It's gonna be insightful. When you ever talk to a dad that's a coach with BB, that's gonna be dope. I can't wait to talk to the man that molded the guy that dirt people. So that's gonna be real cool. I want to get to something that's pretty exciting though. Also coming from G-Bag Nation and Bryan Broaddus. Check this out.
Well, all right, man, they are really getting Turpin involved in this offense.
Ooh, Turpin's talking. He wants to have a Pro Bowl year.
Ooh, he's got the juice, man.
Yeah, and we talked about. He
does have juice.
We talked about this. They went first 2 snaps of practice today on the offensive side of the ball. Both plays designed to go to Turpin
through the air.
It was a third and short. So I can't get into scheme or how they did it, because we'll get in trouble for that. We're not supposed to talk about how they did it, the scheme.
The dirty deeds.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that. We get in trouble. But just know that they're trying to get him involved.
As they should,
in some
man.
of these short yardage situations. They're trying to get him involved.
How'd my guy Jalen Brooks look?
Jalen Brooks is a good player.
Good.
Jalen Brooks, Bobby and I did the Love of the Star last night, and we were talking about Bobby thinks that Jalen Brooks is going to be the third receiver on this team.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that he's going to play over
Tolbert.
And Turpin. Well, Turpin's going to be a Pro Bowler with Brooks as the number 3 guy. We are going to have an amazing year. Turpin, wide receiver 4, Pro Bowler. Yeah.
Kick return Pro Bowler, and then you just sprinkle him in with that offense.
6,000 yards
couple
passing.
80-yard touchdown bombs.
Yeah, well.
I guess I should have said good news and bad news.
Yeah.
Because,
go ahead. No, I was going to say that Jalen Brooks last season was better than Gallup and Tolbert and Cavante Turpin on high pointing the ball and bringing it down. To me, he was better than Brandon Cooks in certain degrees as it relates to that. So that's what we were saying, because I was like, man, damn, I dogged 83 last year coming out of the draft. I literally, and I'm not afraid to say, hey, I was wrong. I dogged 83. Right. But when I was out there and I saw with my natural eyes, I said, man, this dude is a natural. Go get the ball, pull it out of the sky. So I think that he improved even more. So by them saying that, it's not an element of surprise.
Right.
Now, the fan favorite as far as the front office, of course they want Tolbert to do that job. He looks clean and he looks fresh. But, hey, if 83 can show us something, then don't play that political game.
Because, see, they getting the reps. The reps. CeeDee Lamb not there. Y'all getting it. You getting your chance to show if you that dude. See, and I was law. I'm just being honest. You want me to lie or be honest?
Now, be honest, man.
It was bothering me that we kept hearing multiple people only highlight Turpin. Just keeping it real. I know we have expectations for Tolbert, but what was we kept hearing from multiple sources? And now Law is also saying, from his own eyes being in training camp, that he could even see Jalen Brooks taking that year 2 step.
Yeah,
bro, that's not a good sign for Tolbert. Just keeping it real, that's not. But that is a good sign for those who, because I know I've been calling for more Turpin. I'm still not sure if he's a route runner though. That's what I don't know. And but I know he's a good football player.
He's a good football player, but I'll do 9 route. You wear 9 end around, 9 end around, and decoy. Decoy. You can line him in the backfield. We'll route that brother. You got to. Here's the thing. You got to get creative with him.
Yeah.
Look, Tyreek Hill had to work tremendously on his separation, his route. He's the fastest man in the NFL for a stretch of years.
Yeah.
So that's why they had to put him on end routes. They had to put him on jet motions. They had to get him out in space, because if you jam him, get him to the ground. There's kids in middle school and high school that dog Tyreek Hill You know what I'm saying? But speed is speed. So you just got to learn and know how to utilize that. On some 9 routes, you put 9 there, you know, and let them just say, hey, just show that you can take the top off the defense. The fear of the speed will make people play honest. So use him as that decoy. And on top of that, here's the thing. I think that Jalen Tolbert, he's a really good wide receiver, but he do nothing special to me. What do he do special? He's a 4-4 guy, but can he high point the ball consistently like Jalen Brooks? No. Is he a speedster like a Brandon Cooks on some routes? No. Cavante Turpin is to a degree, but Jalen Tolbert, to me, he haven't done anything special outside of making one spectacular catch in Oxnard in the end zone by the field goal area, you know?
Yeah,
but
the Michael Jackson.
The Michael Jackson thing, but he don't do anything special consistently. So, hey, it's a situation that Jalen Brooks may have got a little bit more comfortable within the confines of this system now. And he got the length, he got the range, he got short area quickness. He's faster than what he looks, and he could be fighting for that 3rd spot. And there's a big old wide open vacancy on this team. And it's called the X spot. And he got the mold, the size, the build to play that X receiver that's wide open. They can get him a chance to get more and more out there on the field. Because for damn sure we like Lamb, but he's going to be a guy that you move around, and you're not primarily going to keep him at the X.
Right. It's one more thing I thought about in the last 2 weeks. Because, you know, I did a lot of content on confidence with receivers.
Right.
That's why it's better when they come in as disciples under the previous number 1, right? The career return on investment is so much better when you come in as a number 2 under a number 1. It helps your confidence. I thought about this with Turpin. See, when Turpin was at the USFL, he was the MVP of the entire league. So to us, we like, that's the USFL.
Yeah.
But see, he was told weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, you the best, you the best, you the best, you the best, you the best. You know, you are that guy. You know, it's almost like he has a superstar confidence, even though with us snooty people, he's coming from an inferior league. Yeah. But in his mind, I just see it. Like, I just see confidence on him, you know, like he said he trying to make the Pro Bowl. Like, so, like, I know some people doubt him, but I think confidence is one of the most important things. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Hell yeah. He's going to have a much of that because of the new ruling now. See, they cut his legs off, man, last year because of the rules, how it was. And he was pressing his rookie year to showcase that, hey, I am the best, right? Remember the playoff game? He was like, all he had to do was just jump to the outside and he would have been able to have that alleyway and he would have scored, right? He was just too much of pressing to showcase that he belongs on the field. Well, now I'm looking at it, whereas you're a receiver less. There's no more, you know, cherry picking or putting Michael Gallup in there, stealing reps from these youthful guys. Yeah. So I'm looking at it like, hey, there should be installments. I'm looking for 4 plays out of Cavante Turpin. You can give me 2 jet sweeps and 2 non-routes out of a game on offense, and I'll be satisfied. I'm not looking for him to do 15 to 20 plays. And if the Cowboys know how to craft that in, you will see that he can get some of the Pro Bowl, All-Pro stuff because he's still going to be doing special teams, and he's still going to be giving you those 4 plays. It could be in once a quarter. They don't have to overanalyze it. A jet sweep, a non-route, jet sweep, a wheel route. That's all we don't need to have him doing anything complex.
Right. That's a definitely good thought.
He can be that.
You got some super chats over there?
Yeah, I got a few over here. You want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, I want to get them before we get to our final, very good topic that y'all got to stay for. And while he pulling up his super chats, let's also get the likes up.
Yeah.
Let's get them likes up. Yeah, let's get them likes up. Let me know when you're ready, Law.
All right, I'm ready. About now, I'm ready. All right, so the first super chat that I got is from my guy Saiton. He states here, Eagles have more weapons. CeeDee get force feed or force fed. What's your thoughts on that one?
Eagles get force fed?
No. CeeDee get force fed. Eagles have more weapons. AJ, Smitty, Godard when he was healthy last season.
Nah, I mean, I think our offense goes as CeeDee goes.
Right.
So if you call that force feeding, sure. And see, when you say force feeding, that's like a person don't deserve their targets. Nah.
Facts.
When you
Facts.
getting open, you earned your target. So actually, I don't agree with that.
I call it feed the baby, man. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I wish we would have force fed CeeDee more in that Miami's game. You remember that?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And what was that game he said something was wrong?
Oh, I forgot. Oh, man. I forgot. But the time that they – and here's another thing that they don't look at. Sometimes you need others to alleviate pressure.
Yes.
Your number one receiver is not going to cook all the time. Right. I remember it was a playoff game. Troy Aikman he wanted to get to the playmaker, but they had a great scheme against him.
Right.
And they were shutting down the run. So Troy kept going to the other wide receiver. I forgot his name, tip of my tongue. Harper. Yeah, he kept going to Harper. Harper was cooking, you know.
Yeah.
So that's something that either Dak Prescott going to have to deploy to, right? Sometimes your number one target not going to be the number one target. You got to get somebody else going. Somebody else going to have to beat our Alvin Harper heading into the postseason because people going to try to make you play left-handed. They're going to take away your force-fed wide receiver. I got another super chat from Saiton. He says, Micah contradict himself. He talks about being worn out as a defensive edge, but doesn't want to play linebacker more due to money. What's your thoughts on that?
He just said him and Zim haven't even had 20 words, so I don't know how we can, kind of draw that conclusion when he said himself he ain't even talked to Zimmer. So I think we gotta kind of look for more tea leaves before I draw that conclusion. Now, can you be concerned? Yeah, because guess what? You make more money at edge. So if he trying to get the bag, then you go want to play more edge, right? Yeah. So, I'll be looking for it, but I'm also not going to force a theory or a conspiracy that don't quite fit.
Yeah, and all of his sacks, majority of his sacks came from inside. So that's going to be another thing that Micah Parsons is going to have to reconsider. And I know that was last year's scheme. But Zim, in those 20 words, he's going to make sure he's going to play the best edge rusher, and he's going to make sure they alleviate that worn out thing, because I think that he's a little bit more seasoned than Dan Quinn.
And I just want to warn us. Let's be careful, man, because some of this Micah selfish narrative is done sunk in. I can potentially see maturity issues, but selfish is kind of going too far a little bit. It is. It's like I put it like this. I need to see more.
Yeah. It took Jordan 7 seasons, but that's a whole nother sport. I got Saiton says AD. Boy, you the sponsor of this show, Saiton. Appreciate you, man. He says AD. There's Aaron Donald went to the Super Bowl and won multiple defensive players of the years, and I guess that's in relations to Micah.
Yeah, because that's what Micah brought up when he was talking about Aaron Donald held out.
Yeah,
and see that's a good point. Because see, the Rams, they knew why he was holding out. Why do we act like we don't know what Micah doing?
Right. Oh yeah. They knew what they was doing.
Yeah. Aaron Donald was holding out over the money.
Money.
Like, God, yeah.
And as great as Aaron is, he couldn't win the Super Bowl by himself too. So I guess he was selfish.
Let me say one more thing too, Law, on this. Just keeping it real and being balanced. When I was playing for the University of Houston, I played with a real good corner named Jason Parker. We used to call him Birdman, right? Birdman stopped working out with us in the off season. You hear me?
What's going on?
To be honest, Birdman was smart because our strength and conditioning coach had us running Gaston's Law. So all of us got slow. He wasn't doing that. When he came back, Law, he was stronger, faster, quicker than everybody. See, Boss got to remember this about Michael Parsons. He didn't play his senior year at Penn State, but still came back and ran a 4.3.
Yeah.
Some people know what they need to be ready. Like for real. I played with a dude who did it. Like for real. And I got mad at myself, like, here I go being the team guy.
Yeah.
And now I'm slow.
Yeah.
And my boy running the 4.3. I'm running the 4.6. Like, what? I used to run a 4.4. I didn't go back down to a 4.4 until they fired that strength and conditioning coach. And they got us a new one named Coach Swayze. That's when my speed came back. So sometimes when these dudes miss OTAs and say I'm putting in work, they are.
Yeah.
I want to be balanced with that, for real.
Yeah, man, that's real balance, man. Just like Mike McCarthy said, when he saw Parsons, he said, hey, he's in shape.
In shape. He in shape. Yeah.
He ain't gained no weight, man. I got two more. He says, too cool for the $9.99. He says, Law, why is CeeDee not getting his dues? And that's too cool. I heard him calling to your show the other day, man.
Oh, yeah, too cool. Yeah, too cool.
Yeah. See, like I said, CeeDee was a late bloomer. Last year, a lot of people were talking about, hey, he ain't going to do X, Y, and Z, and Dak ain't going to do X, Y, and Z. But after week 6, hey, he was like, basically, throw me the damn ball, and he showed up and showed out,
Yeah.
Hey,
and shout out to all the content creators in the building, man. We got Rome in the building. We got Star in the building. We got Landlord in the building, man. Shout out to all y'all, man.
Yeah. He says, what's good, fellas? And sorry, the boss. You my dog, but pause.
What I say, bro?
I don't know, man, but shout out to the dogs over there.
Did I say
man.
something Diddy related or what?
I don't know, man. No Eddie though, and no Diddy. Eddie Winslow,
Swallow that.
Oh no, bro. Oh no.
And last but not least, man,
hell no.
Oh hell no. Saiton with the last super chat is sponsored by him, man. His whole my side of the show is sponsored by Saiton. He says Turpin scored on the 49ers. He can run routes. It's crazy because I think he can run routes, but I think that the way he was able to score off of that, boss, is they put him in motion.
Yeah.
They had to slide him around. Like when we talking about route running, we looking at like the Jerry Jeudy's of the world.
Who can get
the
open
Amari
with their feet.
Coopers, right? They get open with their feet, and then it's not, what do you call it, fabricated or?
Nah. And
they caught the 49ers in zone. And then when you're in zone, you got, you got responsibility. You got to get to that spot. And when you got to get to that spot, and he's a 4-3 guy. Oh, no, they caught him in single high. Man. If you remember that play, the only play that we scored a damn touchdown on.
I don't remember what the coverage was. I'll be capping. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was. I did it a couple weeks ago. It was a single high look, and I was like, man, that.
So it's man coverage.
Yeah, it was man, and they put him in motion, and whoever had to switch, you ain't gonna switch fast enough on a 4. I think he runs a 4.29, bro.
Yeah, Turpin fast, bro.
That boy fast, man.
Yeah, Turpin a dog. Yeah, and he been in that Dak yard, man. Who's to say? I'm not gonna be the one to, cause I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I doubted Turpin coming in. I did a whole video like, the dude too little. Man, I was so wrong, bro. Had a whole video wrong as can be. Man, I got another super chat that just fell in. I appreciate it, man.
Let's go.
So my boy, he said, we need another tight end to step up. Span forward. I'm doing a video on that. It's gonna be Span.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and give away the title.
What's it?
Span is your type more than Ferguson. I said
you gonna go there? You make everybody go watch it now, boy.
I'm just keeping it real.
Go watch it earlier, but God, dog, boy, you gonna put
He's
it
your
like
type more than Ferguson. All right.
I can't wait to see your analysis on that, man. I'm
gonna prove it, bro.
I'm
with
be like,
1,000%. This one gonna be the easiest one I ever proved. Now Ferguson go fight for it. It's gonna be hard to take it because he's the most reliable. He's the most reliable.
You do know that man got parquets as fingers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rico gathers that thing.
The way I ain't gonna say parquets, he had a parquet season.
Yeah.
His last season. So, but his overall career not bad. But his last season, he was buttery. You know.
What's your thoughts on Stevens though?
The same thing. The same thing, bro. I'm serious, bro. I can give it away right now. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna save it.
Savor it, yeah.
But I got the evidence, bro. I got the evidence. Yeah. John, I'm gonna just put it like this: Span and John Stevens fit Mike McCarthy more than Ferg.
You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna see if we can get old boy on, man.
Who?
Finley.
Get him on. Man, let's get Finley on. Yeah. And I would do the whole, because I've been calling.
Let me see. I'm a blind call him right quick and see if he gonna pick up.
All right.
He I'm gonna blind call him, boy.
But hopefully he call you back, bro.
No, it went ding dong dong.
Hold on. Yeah. Try again.
Yeah,
Try again.
No.
Let's see if you get lucky.
I might get lucky. Hold on.
No rush. I ain't rushing at all.
Nah, he ain't getting back on.
It was.
Nah, I tried to blind. I tried to put that little card on like, hey, Finley, man, I need for you to talk to me about Mike McCarthy in this second season because he called it last year on what the team was going to be able to do.
He did everything he said it was. Everything he said it was. Yeah. Everything he said it was. So you gonna make me tease it a little bit. You want me to tease it just a little bit? I'm gonna tease it just a little bit, bro. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit.
Tease it.
Go look at the types of Green Bay tight ends. All right. I got
Big
the evidence.
size.
Yeah. Athletic. Yeah. I'm serious, bro. He have a type. He really does. He have a type. He like them athletic tight ends. He does. Yep. I went through his whole history of tight ends at Green Bay. You know what I mean? So he got a type. He do. And that's gonna be the name of the show.
Jared Cooks. I seen everybody in the chat. So Jared Cooks will look well. Not Stephen Jones, but John Stevens would look just like Cooks a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you on to something.
Yes.
The only thing is, Ferg got them doggone mittens, boy.
That's the thing. Ferg probably ain't gonna give it up. That's the thing. See, Ferg ain't gonna probably give it up. He's so established. But I'm just saying, put it like this. I don't know. I know you married, right? But at some point before you was married, you probably had a type. Like, you see what I'm saying?
What the dude said, I ain't got no types. I'd say with you.
I had a type, right? And my types have changed. My types have changed over time. I change. I
Evil
change.
world we live in.
I ain't gonna get you in trouble, bro. I ain't gonna get you in trouble, bro. Listen, I ain't gonna get. I'm gonna get off of that. I'm gonna get off of that. I'm gonna get off of that.
To say, hey, baby, you can have my heart, but not my eyes. Now,
Exactly.
Come on,
All right. Let me get back to these super chats, bro. That's a show of the future.
But one thing I'm gonna pull up though.
Yeah.
Of what Mike McCarthy said at the presser today. I heard a little snippets of it. He was talking about Jake Ferguson and his size. And he said that he picked on a little bit more size or what have you. He should be able to manage this course of the season. So I'm looking for a tick up for Ferguson to be that dude that you probably doing your evaluation assessment on those other two. He might have picked it up even more.
Yeah, I messed up. Jackie, she right. She said, not a good way to craft that. I was just trying. I didn't know how to ask Law if he had a type. I was like, how do you ask? I tried my best, Jackie. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, bro,
I tried to keep it as respectful as possible. I did. I really did. My bad, Law. I ain't trying to get you in no trouble. I'm so sorry.
Fatality. What happened, Law, man?
Boy, my bad. I was like, how do I ask Law this? It still was sloppy. I tried. All right, but here we go. I got a super chat. He said, our organization has a structure issue and we also suffer with nepotism. The man said he doesn't move until he wants to. That's what Jerry said. Until those issues are fixed, we will continue to have hurdles we don't clear. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? But it's still our team, but that's what made this show hard. That's what, when Ian came out, he was like, yep, we have our first holdout, and the CeeDee, I was like, oh, it just hurt, man. It was like, man, please, why we always got to be that part. All right, this is the last super chat. He said, imagine CeeDee say, pay Dak first and I was exactly. It would never happen, bro. Yeah. He would get the money, bro. All right. Appropriately so. The appropriate way to end this is on what happened this week.
Yeah.
The legendary Larry Allen.
Yeah. Pillar, man, of the offensive line community.
Yeah.
I mean, his loss will be felt all around the world. He's a young guy, at the age, as they say, the tender age of 52. And I once read a sign that says life starts at 40, meaning that, man, this man is only 12 years old, But his legacy, man, and what he brings or brought to the table, second to none. You talking about a guy that can play left tackle, right tackle, or you can kick him down inside at guard. A guy that can move stuff out of the way and would tell you where he's going to open up that hole, right? And you're going to have to either, get ran over, get out of the way. That's what Big LA brought to the table.
He was doing that in the NFL.
NFL, bro.
God, dog. You did that in high school. He did that in the NFL.
Whoop, whoop. You know that statement, playing through the echoes of the whistle? Most fat boys would say, hey, man, that's picked off, man. Let me just get ready to get back into my stance. So this pick six so that I can get ready to be blocking for the quarterback again because you threw a pick six. No, he went and hawked him down, dog.
Man, and see, I did a show today or a video about why is Larry Allen not considered in the greatest athlete conversation. Because people think to be an athlete, you got to have a six-pack. I totally disagree. I just think their type of athleticism is different. You know what I mean? And it was the fact that he ran down. What if they had those chips and shoulder pads like they do now, where you knew how fast he was running? You know what I mean? Like
guard spot, and he was pulling, and he did that play. What was that? Lyle Collins.
Yeah.
And I said, man, the Cowboys blessed and highly favored, right? Ain't nobody can mess that up but the Cowboys. They done got too caught up into, because God is a mindset and a mentality that we had, you know. And when they pulled that brother, it was the Green Bay Packers game.
Yeah.
And when they pulled him, all I saw was Larry Allen.
Yeah.
And
that's the one play that kind of looked like Larry Allen. You right.
You see glimpses and shades of it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's all I saw was Larry Allen. Like, to this point, like Tyler Smith is good, but his feet not like Larry.
Yeah.
Lyle Collins' feet was kind of like Larry, but his strength wasn't.
Yeah.
Tyler got the strength, but he don't got the feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get that combination of what you've seen out of 73. Now it's gonna be very remarkable now because we're gonna see 73 different now.
Right.
Since my guy is gonna be wearing it. He wore it last year. Of course, he wore it every year. But now it's just gonna feel different seeing it, knowing that this man done passed on. You know, he's looking from the heavens, and I'm hearing. I just got news, man, when I was, you know, praying and I got caught up into the third and fifth dimension. I heard, man, from a grapevine, man, that him and Tom Landry, they creating plays up there, bro. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Tom Landry got him. Tom Landry on the team and they undefeated, man. They like 40, 50-0, man. And Big LA, he got drafted to Tom Landry team, man. But I just want to tell y'all, man, put 7-3 in the chat because, you know, this dude was for everything. And like you said, the belly boys, man, the guys without the six-pack, they give them hope. They give them guys. It's some belly boy right now watching, and he's sitting there saying, "I can be the next Larry Allen."
Yes.
Whoop,
and you should be considered one of the greatest athletes. I'm talking about up there with Bullet, Dion, and Bo Jackson. I mean that. Yeah, you should put him up there. He was that athletically freaky. Cause you can't be as strong and like he was, bro. Like he was video game strong, bro. Like
right.
And fast.
Yeah. Go back and look at the tape.
Yeah. And they say he was the most gangster. Like when you in the NFL, the stories on him was legendary. And I heard the clip. You played the clip with Tuck. Tuck said he kept trying to go to the opposite side just not to go against him. And Tuck was a dog.
Yeah.
These dudes was running from Larry Allen. Man, they was saying balls is taking sick days.
Yeah. Let me tell you somebody that I would, and I'm not, and I know, you know, RIP to my guy Larry Allen. Eric Williams was him too, though.
Yeah.
I
would say Eric was also a little bit meaner. He just wasn't as physically gifted, but he was meaner. Eric was mean.
I'm talking about before the injury, before the car wreck or whatever.
Ooh, that boy Eric Williams, man, people sleep that. He was bona fide Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Because he used to whoop Reggie White.
Oh yeah.
And Reggie White gave Larry Allen that business.
Yeah. We don't talk about those. but he didn't do Eric like that. He didn't.
No.
He got it one or two times, but that was it. Yeah, you got it 1 or 2 times.
Yeah.
But Big E was like, all right, cool. We'll see if he can do that again.
Man,
you know?
Big E, man. Ooh, boss need to look up Big E.
Yeah.
Before that injury, I got one more super chat. It just came in. He said, "Yo, boss, I'm not worried about Micah comments on Zimmer. I just hope Zimmer can get some dark side out of Micah." Yeah, I'm not either. You know, I'm not either.
Say that again, the dark side?
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah. And I think he is. I do. I think he is. That's number one. Number two, I didn't hear the context. So I'm not gonna read into it. I gotta hear it. Not read it. Cause read it could I can put my own thoughts on that. You know what I'm saying? You know. So anyway, I would have to see the whole body language and everything, the tone of what he was saying. I'm not gonna look at them words and act like I know Micah Hart. I appreciate that. So let me get my final words, Law.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So So we in minicamp. So we go get some more news, right? We finna get some more. Let's hope Trey Lance play a little bit better. Ain't nobody hating on Trey Lance. He a member of the Dallas Cowboys. I want the best for him. You know what I mean? I want him to be ready if he have to play. So I'm wishing the best for him. I also know that CeeDee Lamb is going to be paid. So is Dak, you know. So let's be encouraged, Cowboy Nation. It's just, you know, what we do here is how we do business. Them Joneses, they got to make their money. And they going to make that money from that publicity. I got another super chat that came in. He said, John Randall talked trash to 73 before until Larry punched him in the chest. LOL, he called him sir after that. Yeah, and that's John Randall. Boy's got it. Boy, if he humbled John Randall, boys, man. But that's my final word.
Man, look, guys, let's not overanalyze the situation.
Yeah.
CeeDee wasn't the only guy that held out. Brandon Ayuk held out.
Right.
Hassan Reddick held out, and he's on a whole new team. Right?
Yeah, facts.
And now when we start talking about the money, where do you go? Like the 110, I don't care about the other part of the contract, but the guaranteed money on Justin Jefferson's contract is 110.
Right.
So will 109 suffice? Will 105 suffice? What Brandon Ayuk gonna get? You know, and you got to get in there before Tyreek Hill come around the ladder or come around the corner again, because he's looking to get paid before he get out there and do some things. So the best way to get this discount rate is to pay these guys early.
Yeah.
You think long, you study wrong, all of those stuff. So the Cowboys going to have to get in front of this, ladies and gentlemen. But at the end of the day, C. Dangerous Lamb, in my opinion, is the best wide receiver in the National Football League.
Yeah.
And that's where he's going to pick it up for the 2024 season. You can think whatever you want to think. You can say whatever you want to say. But that guy right there wearing that 88, when he get back out there on the field, he's going to be angry. He's going to be extra motivated, and he's going to be,
let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. DC for life, man. Let's go. The final word, baby. Rest in peace.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.
It's time to
The final word.
Get it.
Let's get it.
Appreciate y'all.
Y'all come back Sunday, man. We got a big guest.
Yeah, I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. Yeah, I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah, kinda check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up. Yeah, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.